Hello, hello. Hello. Wait, I've had 15 views. I've had no audio? Hey, have I had no audio this entire time? Yeah, this is embarrassing. This is so freaking embarrassing. I'm gonna go have a think break. This is so- All right. So I have audio. Normally I would have scrolled down on OBS to see if that thing was going through or not. Hello. Okay. Oh well, I still without audio, I still got 16 views. This is a record. There's audio now, right? Well, it's just still interesting. Otherwise, it was just me rambling. I told the dates. I told the Comic Con dates. Um, so it's the Rose City Comic Con. It's you can look it up. It's just trying to live in that world where we're doing Comic Con circuits, where there's traveling. Somebody told me gas is like was 6.50 the other day, and I'm just like, I don't have a car. Do you know how much better off, like how much better off this situation is that it's been 3 years? It's been over 3 years since I've had a vehicle. Well, I have a funny story. I have a funny story about when I first got back in country from working overseas. It's like, yeah, August 2021, September, October, just I'd be at the gas station in my rental car. I've just like been away for a while, and so I'm at the pump with my rental, and people walk up. Yeah, guys, why is gas so expensive? I'm just I'm a guy at a pump. People demanding know why gas is so expensive. There's a lot of textbooks about how that type of stuff works. Um, yeah, it's kind of an education. It's kind of an education to try to figure out why gas is so expensive. Well, we do have a member of our community. Which one was that? Was it Pizak? Pizza? Who's the handle changes it from time to time? Who's that? Who's a member of the community that recently got a oil field job out in Michigan? 10,000 a month. However, listen to his appearance. It sounds like he had the connection. Some connection is that he used that turned him on this opportunity. So I don't know. Do you think $10,000 a month is too much? You could like maybe cut it down to 50, and then like you could like get 5 cents less on your gas or something. I don't know. So we have this influx of disabled and retired people, like a massive influx. Just like 90%. How much is too much of a community to be on welfare? Like 50 per one worker for every welfare. That's marriage, isn't it? Isn't that what marriage is? Well, one worker for every recipient. So I would say a lot of people would say, hey, 50% unemployed, 50% supporting the unemployed. What about 10%? What about 10% workers, 90% disabled and retired people? Just for every one worker is like nine adults to support. Is that too much? I complain. I talk about my last job. We had because of COVID lockdowns. Hey, I had trouble getting back in the country when I went on vacation. It's still, what were we at, like 1 to 4, 1 to 5? So yeah, I just don't know the tipping point, or people, which people. So I suppose Ruby, are you still here? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, so I don't think Ruby would mind. I got an email from Ruby a while back, and I was kind of bitching. And I'm like, "Hey, I've donated $1,000. Do you call me?" And she just like, well, there's also the story with like just like serial callers, and I've got 50. I got no 60. Yeah, I got over 60 unread text messages from this dude. Oh, Satoshi Nakamoto. Interesting. I'll try to jot that down. Yeah, we had Jeremy had a me moment. Jeremy had a me moment. We were having some beers, just be normal dudes hanging out at the local place, and he started like trying to look at like what actor, what was it, Jason Schwartzman? Yeah, Jeremy's he's like and he's like had this thing where I was like morphing apparently into different actors that he's familiar with. I've had that situation myself when I'm like looking at someone like my roommate. Like the first time this actually happened to me, first time it actually happened to me, my roommate is upset at me, right? And I don't know why she's going out at like midnight or something. Just she weird. My roommate's kind of weird that way. Anyway, I'm sitting on the couch waiting for her to leave so I can have some peace and quiet and watch TV. And she gets mad at me. And I feel like this force like pushing me against the wall. Like I pinned to the sofa, and she like starts doing like they're like five accents, five personalities, and then like way less than 30 seconds. Like in that moment, there were like five different people who appeared. And I was like, is it Britney Spears? Is it Britney Spears? No, I'm pretty sure it's not Britney. I'm pretty sure it's not that one. But yeah, these like the B listers, the C listers, workaholics. So Satosho Nakamoto. Oh yeah, jot that down for sure. Glow in the dark CIA N words. Oh, you watched Torchwood too? Did you watch Torchwood too? Did you see Torchwood when the CIA guy showed up? He says, "Out of my way." Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Kyle. When like you get in the try to get in the business world, in order to do business in China, in order to operate a factory in China, you have a Chinese partner. So I don't know. So that Sakosho Natamokomoko, Satoshi Nakamoto. Is that my partner? Well, we have Tess T Zyro Pokemon cards. People out here, these are like just I don't know. I haven't been in the Pokemon. So these cards is good to know. Oh, oh! I wonder if I saw a documentary. I wonder if I saw a documentary. Apparently, there's like this sushi place. It's like it's just a small seating, and he has like 6 months reservations, and he goes out to the market and he inspects like because they have fresh fish in the mornings. Just the cycle of those types of things where we have so much like well, my refrigerator's broken, so I'm not doing that long term storage thing. But yeah, yeah, he goes fish market, and a lot of chefs have certain reputation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So is he in line for the USA did Lincoln? Want to be the head cook out in the Lincoln? Sounds like they need help. Yeah, that's one of the things when you come to my lectures and you sit there and listen to me ramble at the coffee shops. Is usually no, I'm serious. There's in places that have like when I was in South America, they have this place called the Market of Berlin, and it's a big outdoor. Well, what would we call the wet market? So it's on the river, and people start arriving before the sun's up. They raft in with fresh with fresh fruits, just all these things. And it's in a daily market, and that's a problem. Yeah, yeah. The private chefs. Isn't it's funny thinking about the Brady Bunch, huh? Yeah, it's funny thing about the Brady Bunch is like this middle class family, and they have Alice, the in home like cook, and the hired help. Be fascinating. Well, we have a guy up here. He wants a sushi restaurant. I wonder if he'd go to sushi or the Applebee's more. See, this is a hard part to tell all the poor like restaurant workers that their customers they sweat and toiled over, they really were just using credit cards and couldn't afford to eat there in the first place. And so now that we don't have people who can really afford to eat out all the time, there's a big push for like people to make their own food at home again. Like pushing by like people like me who want to make my own food. And also, you're talking like I go to places. There's a sushi place that I go to. I mean, not sushi; it's a Thai place. They have like one sushi roll type thing on the menu, I think. Mm. Oh, Kyle, you addicted to the Food Network, Travel Network, Dives. How many they say the guy for I forget how to pronounce his name. If I was forgetting how to pronounce Guy Ferrari, it was like it's like I just think of Guy Ferrari, Guy Ferrari, Ferrari. They had that show, The Hell's Kitchen, Iron Chef. But it's the ones where they travel. Yeah, I don't know, how was it? You gotta try every dish in the world. That was one of the things they said about Xerxes. That was one of the things they said, like Xerxes' empire was so expansive. He had chefs brought in from all over. Like he had they had menus apparently that were like 10,000 dishes. I hear and this is hearsay. This is hearsay, but like 10,000 dishes. Anthony Bourdain once called you a custer. Yeah, Anthony Bourdain. Yeah, Anthony Bourdain is. You think? Yeah, this thing. I don't know. I haven't done enough thing to hear descriptions of Xerxes. The only Xerxes, because they put Xerxes in that movie 300. And so, like, I watched 300, and so that's my conception of Xerxes. Does TK, does TK, like, feel like a Xerxes? Because I went and saw the Odyssey. I went with my friend. He took me up and yeah, I saw the Odyssey. Do I feel like one of those dudes? Uh, I don't know. It was entertaining. It was done in like a kind of overlay. It was kind of done like a kind of cartoon overlay. It'd be hard to describe. Probably be interesting to see like what people's opinions are of that CGI. So it's yeah, 300 is about the Spartans led by King Leonidas, who found out that Xerxes was leading like an army of 50,000 to 100,000 Persians, and there was like a certain pass. They had found a back pass to come in because it's just invasions. Apparently, the people were always invading back then. So it's the one where because it was a narrow pass and strategically they were able to hold off the army, Xerxes' army, and keep from passing for like I don't know how many days. But 300 dudes versus between 50 and 100,000. That could be like a lot of exaggerated hearsay. I really don't know. Still, it's one of those things from the history books of the only 300 people because you like was it after was this after Troy? Hmm. Where if this is before? Did that happen before or after Troy? Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's like if people turned on the Latin lover. Yeah, well, it's kind of funny because I'm sitting here in a particular era of California history, and it's like looking at previous history. And there's a thing about this guy named Rudolph Valentino. Have you ever heard of Rudolph Valentino? Apparently, there's a hysteria back in different eras that the Latin lovers were coming. The Latin lovers are coming. Yeah, yeah, but it's been a thing. Uh, well, anyway, when you say Lalo, I think of a there's a there when I had a stable job, when I had a job and I could put all this other stuff out of my mind and I just focus on my office routine. I had time. I had time to watch streaming stuff, and one of them was Better Call Saul. And so they have a Lalo Salamanca in there, and the scene where this young guy, he's people don't trust him, right? He has this dude he hires, and people don't trust him, and like anyway, he helps this. I don't know if there's a SWAT team. It's like because this is like Mexico drug wars, right? They look like police officers, but why do they need an inside guy to? So anyway, Lalo gets home invaded by like this SWAT team, and it is amazing, inspirational goings on there. I don't think that's the same Lalo Salamanca from what was it, Hector? Is it Hector Salam the Tuco? Oh, Breaking Bad. It goes like Better Call Saul's a prequel to Breaking Bad, right? So it takes place before Breaking Bad. And Breaking Bad just one of those. It's like a Dexter. When I heard they made a movie about this stuff, and like or series is like just popular. You shouldn't. You're encouraging methamphetamine use. You shouldn't glorify these people. And yet those people are like the economy of my neighborhood. Without those people, there's like no economy. So yeah, I was that guy in the family. It's just medicine, no. See, but one of the things without working three jobs, I actually like sleep. Yeah, no, don't need to pick me up. Although I do like these energy drinks. It's very odd situations. Where was I? What was I like? Somebody was talking about one of the streamers was talking about or politician about jobs programs for young people, and I was just like, I don't know, jobs programs. It's like I go to this, like, I was going to this church and they're like in this. Actually, did they ever use that quote? Not by work, but faith alone. I was talking to somebody the other day. I'm like, What if it's like the work we're doing actually is destroying, like destroying the environment, destabilizing natural people's ability to for sustain. Just so, what if work is destroying the planet? Then maybe just people want to sit around. Well, not those. There's some people who are like, that's the problem. We have to sit around people. It's like, okay, stand down. Just don't do anything. You ever tell somebody their job's not to do anything? Don't touch that. Don't want any problems. Oh, don't turn that valve. Don't turn that valve. Hey, where's the lockout tag? I was having a funny, good time, like Reed, because between the USS Gerald Ford. Oh, well, I buffered. Yeah, with the USS Gerald Ford and its plumbing problems from last year, from the beginning of this year, last year. Now they have the now they have the USS Lincoln. People trying to like throw themselves off. I think there's a breakdown in the morale. Well, in 2004, I got my phone rang, I picked it up, and it was like somebody from the Navy something, and they're reading from their thing, notifying that I was being involuntarily mobilized. So I was like, oh no, I have a back injury. I have a back injury, and I was like, I'm gonna get down there because okay, I'll you can show up and do the physicals, and like, oh no, I have a back injury. I can't go, and then I show up, and it's like this. The story is the units from the East Coast, and they're all like men older than me. We're reservists, right? We're reservists. I'm 28 years old. I'm 28 years old. I feel like I'm an adult old man, and I show up in my unit. The average age is like 50. I think the average age was like 50, maybe older, and it was only half the unit. So only half the unit. That's why they called me. That's why they called me. Is they only had half of the unit showed up for mobilization, and the other half apparently had hardships, physical ailments, family problems. They're all younger men. I think the younger people didn't deploy. So I was like the third youngest or something. There were some like guys younger than me. Maybe a girl, I don't remember. This one, yeah, I don't think we had any females in that deployment. Maybe at headquarters, like a handful. It was all, but it was like made up of. And a lot of them were unemployed. They were looking forward to their deployments because they could make money. A lot of them were like unemployed welders and stuff. So that was 2004. This is what 22 years later. The quality manning, the anything on that ship, anything in today's modern Navy. However, in order to, huh, I was reading an account of like the first like steamers, these the metal boats, and it was this, and they sailed through a herd of whales, and the description of how many whales there were, but they tried to steer out of the way. Oh, it's interesting. In another life, like without the to be a single sailor. Hmm. Yeah, Many different ways my brain might interpret that one. Wailing. Like the Morgan Whalen. The Waylon Jennings. Or the Waylon Jennies. I think it's the Waylon Jennies. And that's one of the big things where I've separated myself from like the Joe Rogan experience. When I first heard of Joe Rogan, because it's evolved over the years. So the early Joe Rogan, my friend John, he's like he had the kind of like this, no cleaner, far cleaner, but just living alone, just the ultimate bachelor lifestyle with nothing to do all day but just surf the internet and stuff like that. And so he told me he started listening to the Joe Rogan program. It's like this is how men talk. 'Cause this was Red Band days, and so they're kind of like the opposite. Where me and most the dudes don't have that type of, well, we're not players in that way, I suppose. Like the success with women, a lot of us don't have that. And so all these just random women talking about their sexual experiences and this and that, it's like, yeah, it's kind of cool to be like nerd listening into the jocks or something. I don't know. I just don't know. All I know, all I know is my stepbrother's baby mama. Hmm. I don't know. I think she's got a few Ahabs before. Yeah, like this is the problem, dude. You try to explain to kids why you love one more than the other. In my case, I don't know any of them. I don't really know any of them. It's like very hurtful and neglectful. Got the point on this search, like the so before my brother's accident, when we thought we had stability was a thing, he got an apartment with his baby mama. You know, they had an apartment. He was living with his baby mama and his baby. And he was kind of doing a sales thing. His things are going okay. And he invited me over because there was this thing called Game of Thrones and I hadn't really like heard of it, or maybe I did, but it was just a cultural thing. He's from the Harry Potter generation, where there are these things and they just go. It's like it is I guess it's a Harry Potter type of thing. So he's like, let's start watching this. I think we watched the first 3 episodes together. I went over every week for like 3 weeks, and we were gonna be watching this. And then things happen. I have to leave and go find work and things, and yeah, breakdowns and unemployment. But we watched the first 3 episodes of Game of Thrones, and things like took a downturn. It's coming up on his anniversary, 10 years. It's his 10-year anniversary well, talk to my youngest brother about that. So it's kind of like that's how it's been. Because in Game of Thrones, is Sir Aeon and Littlefinger are going around on a mission to try to document Robert Baratheon's bastards. I assume that what do you call a female bastard? What do you call a female bastard? So anyway, these illegitimate children. So like illegitimate children of irresponsible men. Well, on my civilization, we call it irresponsibility, and other ones, I guess, is just natural. So anyway, anyway, you know it's it's a challenge. Hmm. My youngest brother was angry because our middle brother had come up from LA, and he had been gone in LA so long, and I was away. My younger brother had Sacramento all to himself for like a few years. And then he told me one day, he's like, because I love you guys, I'm just gonna stay in LA. He's like, you guys need to find your own territory. Like our youngest brother had turned our entire city into his private territory. What's that mean? I don't know. I just don't know. All I know is that I was hanging out with my brother at one of his favorite strip clubs. I didn't go to strip clubs that often. This dude, well, he's quite well known. And so we were hanging out at like one of his favorite strip clubs, and I had like this. I think it was it was it Match.com, my AOL. Anyway, I've had this. I met a girl on the internet, and we had gone out once, and we were gonna meet up, but I just like, do I choose my brother? Do I choose this like new girl I'm talking to? So I'm hanging out with my brother, and I was kind of trying to get away from him. It's different. I think when brothers have one personality, when they're like free of family and another one, it's one of the mutual things in a way. So anyway, let me cut the chase here. So as I'm leaving to go meet this girl, I'm like, okay, Jeff, I'm gonna go to the other place, and all of a sudden I feel a hand on my ass, it's like, and this stripper would come up, and she like grabbed my ass, but it was also my wallet, right? So it's like, wait, are you grabbing? Are you squeezing my wallet or my butt cheek? So I turn around. It's like, oh, I didn't recognize her, but it was our little neighbor. It was our little neighbor girl from like 15, 20 years prior. And she had grown up to be a stripper. Oh, so she like, you stay. She hadn't danced yet, and I went to watch her dance. And later on that night, oh, because my brother had like, oh, you stay now, you wouldn't stay for me, you stay for. My brother had this whole like thing. So I go and I watch her little neighbor girl, all grown up, like showing off that she's a woman now. And later on that night, I'm pretty sure it's been what she tried to walk in the traffic as we were walking back to my car. He's like stumbling out like into the road, like he's not having a good night, and I think that's the night he punched me. I was living in an apartment with my brothers. My dad has this thing, and apparently it's a very good thing. So the yeah, strippers and territories. I don't think I'm allowed to talk to anybody who knows my brother. I think he keeps close tabs on everybody who knows him, and he's like, I can't even talk to the neighbor. I'm not even allowed to talk to the neighbors anymore. Jeff, Jeff, what's going on, Jeff? You want to go look? Because we know how irresponsible Adam was. Remember how irresponsible our crippled brother is? We need to go and identify these kids. They kind of look like Adam. Jeff, come here. Look at these bastard children I found in this, like living in squalor. That's just the way it feels. That's just the way it feels. Oh, I made it past our. Wow, I'm cruising today. 20 views. Ah, yeah. So I visited my niece. I visited my niece last night. It's always a nice opportunity to reconnect. She's one that found me. Like I think from TikTok. Yeah, you like type in people's names and stuff, I suppose. Yeah, one of the hurtful things back in July of 2022, there was a family reunion. And my cousin who organizes these things, helps organize them, says I wasn't allowed to come because I made somebody uncomfortable. And I wonder after like, well, that's year four. I wonder how many people aren't at the reunion anymore for making somebody uncomfortable. Eventually it's gonna get awkward. I think I had a sighting of my unemployed cousin. This thing about like it has been. I have a travel journal book, and it's what is it, Eve Curry? What is this woman's name? Anyway, it's this woman journalist, and she traveled all over, like I think the world during the World War II era. And so this is like an international this international journal, and then they meet with all different components of wars. There's when she's visiting Russia. She's visiting Russia. Remember, Russia is our allies in World War II. So she's visiting the allies. And one of the things that's noted is as the war's gone on, the army gets fed, but the people are starving. Yeah, later, Kyle. Maybe I'll see you on a panel. Get to know these chatters. Yeah, at this point, my grant funds are, well, I have a pre-existing relationship with the science fiction author and movie director Drew Mars. So one time he freaked out. I did pulled the rug, and well, it's like the same thing in my position. Like I have the savings, but getting a job that we can afford to live this luxurious lifestyle. I remember in 2000, mid 2000s, I had a 86 Accord. And it's like the maintenance on, I'm interested in being able to do car repairs. Yeah, it takes a certain type of resources though. So I had this car, and I would get coupons. And it was just like the local establishment. I'm one of those coupon guys, so oh, that's a good discount. Me and my dad, we took my car in for some like just routine maintenance and stuff, and I had this like all this like spark plugs and oil change and stuff for like a really good. Well, we go to the counter, and as we approached the counter, you could smell the whiskey. You could just smell this. The guy there, he's talking about in the 90s when he became a mechanic. We got first got hired on mechanic in the 90s. Went to trade school and stuff, I suppose. Anyway, his first job paid more than he was making as a manager. Like the longer he worked, the less he got paid, and the more he had to do. End of story. No concurrent viewers. And wow, the once the audio turned on, it got fun. Anyway, later. Um, thanks for stopping.